Over its 8-season run, Charmed enchanted viewers with its blend of magic, familial ties, and supernatural escapades. While the series continues to captivate audiences, some of the talented actors who brought its characters to life have since passed away. Whether taken too soon by unforeseen tragedies or after prolonged illnesses, their absence is deeply felt by fans who cherish their performances. From beloved main cast members to memorable guest stars, these 37 actors have left behind a legacy that remains indelible. And Haney, born on March 4th, 1934, and Haney appeared in Charmed in 2000 at the age of 66 as Aunt Gail, a character who initially exuded warmth and care, but ultimately betrayed the Hollowell sisters in a desperate bid to reclaim her youth. Renowned for her incisive and engaging performances, she also left her mark in films such as Mrs. Doubtfire and Liar Liar. Off the screen, she shared a deep connection with her husband, John Haney, until his passing in 1980, after which she devoted herself to her acting career and raising their daughter. In her later years, she battled congestive heart failure, which ultimately claimed her life on May 26, 2001, at the age of 67, leaving behind a legacy of wit, warmth, and timeless artistry. Bruce Gray, born on September 7, 1936. Bruce Gray brought the character Keel to life on Charmed in 2005 at the age of 69. In this role, he portrayed a wise elder whose guidance and tactical insight helped the Charmed Ones combat malevolent forces. Gray, renowned for his authoritative presence in films like Starship Troopers and Traitors, built a legacy of dignified performances. Off the screen, his personal life was marked by hardship. An amicable yet painful divorce and growing estrangement from his children left lasting emotional scars. Later, a diagnosis of brain cancer gradually stripped him of his ability to work and communicate. He passed away on December 13, 2017 at 81, leaving behind a celebrated career in film and television. Shannon Doherty, born on April 12, 1971, in Memphis, Tennessee, Shannon Doherty burst onto the scene with her role in Charmed in 1998 at the age of 27. She portrayed Prue Hollowell, the fiercely determined and protective eldest sister whose strong sense of duty often led to conflicts with her siblings. Her compelling performance and commanding screen presence quickly made the character a fan favorite. However, behind the scenes, ongoing disputes with co-stars led to her unexpected exit after 3 seasons, a setback that followed her early success on Beverly Hills 90210. Off camera, her life was equally tumultuous. She experienced 3 failed marriages, including a bitter split from Curtis Warenko that was finalized just before her passing. In 2015, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and despite her resolute fight against it, the disease eventually spread to her brain and bones. On July 13, 2024, she passed away at the age of 53 at her home in Malibu, California. Suzanne Kroll, born on July 8, 1966, in New York City. Suzanne Kroll appeared on Charmed in 2005 at age 39, embodying Amara, a merciless demon who cunningly seized control of Phoebe Hollowell's body. Her performance added a dark, foreboding edge to the series, proving her prowess in commanding even a brief role. Although she maintained a steady presence on television with credits including General Hospital and My Wife and Kids, she never fully ascended into Hollywood's top tier. Off camera, Kroll shared a deep connection with her husband, Peter Sprite, a fellow performer attuned to the industry's trials. Despite the support, she quietly battled personal health issues. Tragically, on July 27, 2013, at just 47, she died suddenly from a ruptured aortic aneurysm, leaving behind a legacy of striking performances and a grieving partner. Billy Drago, born on November 30th, 1945, in Haggaton, Kansas, took on the role of the sinister demon Barbas on Charmed in 1999 at the age of 53. Originally intended as a one-time villain, his character evolved into a fan-favorite antagonist whose eerie presence and chilling performance perfectly captured the essence of fear, tormenting the Hollowell sisters over 5 seasons. Off-screen, Drago enjoyed a long marriage with actress Solana Gallardo, remaining together until her passing in 2012. However, his later years were overshadowed by health challenges, and on June 24, 2019, he passed away in Los Angeles at 73 due to complications from a stroke. Coolio, known professionally as Curio artist, and born Leon Ivey Jr. on August 1st, 1963, in Monessen, Pennsylvania, stepped in the role of the Lazarus Demon on Charmed in 2002 at the age of 39. In this part, he depicted a dark, enigmatic entity capable of self-resurrection after every defeat. His powerful baritone and formidable stage presence left an indelible mark as a supernatural villain, even though his screen time was brief. By that point, he had already secured his place in music history with the Grammy-winning single Gangster's Paradise, though sustaining his fame later proved challenging. Off-camera, his life was equally turbulent. He was once married to radio personality Joseph Salinas, with whom he had one of his 10 children, yet he struggled under the pressures of fatherhood and a capricious career. His ongoing battles with addiction and legal issues often eclipsed his later ventures into reality TV and culinary projects. Tragically, his health quietly worsened until, on September 28, 2022, at just 59, he was found unresponsive in a friend's bathroom, an accidental overdose of fentanyl, heroin, and methamphetamine marking a sorrowful end to a man who had once ruled the hip-hop scene. David Carradine, born on December 8, 1936, in Hollywood, California. David Carradine brought the character of Tempest to life on Charmed in 1999 at age 63. His portrayal of Tempest, a potent demon capable of manipulating time, was marked by an eerie presence and a deep, commanding voice that added mystique to the role. Off-camera, Carradine's personal life was tumultuous. He experienced a series of failed marriages, 5 in total, and battled well-documented struggles with addiction. Although he continued working in the industry, his later years were characterized by roles in lower-budget films, a stark contrast to his earlier successes. Tragically, on June 3, 2009, at the age of 72, he was found dead in a Bangkok hotel room from accidental asphyxiation, a shocking and controversial end to a life filled with both triumph and turmoil. Denise Dowes, born on February 21, 1958, graced Charmed in 2005 at 47, taking on the role of the Angel of Destiny, a potent celestial guide who helped steer the Charmed Ones through life-altering decisions with wisdom and authority. With an extensive career highlighted by memorable performances in Beverly Hills, 90210, and Insecure, she was celebrated for her commanding presence on screen. Despite her impressive professional achievements, she chose a life dedicated solely to her craft, remaining unmarried and without children. In her later years, her health suffered a severe blow when she fell into a coma due to critical meningitis. On August 13, 2022, at the age of 64, she passed away, leaving behind an enduring legacy of powerful and unforgettable performances. Elizabeth Sung, born on October 14, 1954, in British Hong Kong, appeared in Charmed in 1998 at the age of 44, taking on a role of Mrs. Chow with a blend of warmth and resilient grace. Originally trained as a ballet dancer, a career-ending injury shifted her focus to acting, where she was often cast in minor, typecast roles despite her notable talent. She found solace in her marriage to writer and actor Peter Tulipin, though the heartache of infertility left an enduring void. Later in life, she faced an even graver challenge, battling lymphoma with quiet fortitude. On May 22, 2018, at 63, she succumbed to the illness, her passing enveloped in sadness rather than the acclaim that her remarkable career might have merited. Frances Bay, born on January 1, 1919, embraced the role of old Phoebe on Charmed in 2002 at the age of 83. She portrayed a future version of Phoebe Howell, whose life was steeped in both deep affection and heart-wrenching loss. Off-screen, her life was marred by sorrow. In 2002, after over 50 years of marriage, she suffered the devastating loss of her husband in a car accident, and the premature passing of her only son further deepened her isolation. Later in life, a serious accident left her with a severe leg injury that confined her to a wheelchair, exacerbating her ongoing struggles. Battling chronic pain, she eventually contracted pneumonia and passed away on September 15, 2011, at the age of 92, a poignant end to a life defined by both resilience and profound grief. Jerry Becker, born on April 11, 1951. Jerry Becker stepped into the role of Ramos on Charmed in 2002 at the age of 51. In this part, he embodied a mystical mentor whose timeless wisdom guided the charmed ones through their battles against dark forces. Although his character radiated authority and enigma, Becker's own career followed a quieter trajectory. His early marriage was marred by financial difficulties and prolonged work-related absences, which eventually led to divorce. Even though he had 2 children, he remained emotionally distant, a gap that only widened over time. In his later years, severe complications from diabetes eroded his health, and on April 13, 2019, at 68, he passed away, having lost much of the legacy he had spent a lifetime building. Henry Gibson, born on September 21, 1935, in Germantown, Pennsylvania, brought a whimsical charm to Charmed in 2003 by portraying the Sandman, a mystical guardian of dreams who aided the charmed ones in confronting their deepest fears. Off-screen, he shared a profound bond with his wife, Lois, whose passing in 2007 deeply affected him. Despite being a father of 3, Gibson navigated his later years in relative privacy while quietly fighting cancer. On September 14, 2009, at the age of 73, he passed away, leaving behind a legacy of humor and heartfelt performances that enriched decades of film and television. As he once expressed, "I can't bear to see you cry." Jeanette Miller, born on July 30, 1932, took on the role of Christina Larson on Charmed in 2000 when she was 68. Her portrayal of a compassionate, enigmatic mentor provided critical support to the Hallwell sisters, echoing her reputation as a character actress known for roles steeped in wisdom. Despite a long and distinguished career, Miller led a quiet, solitary life after outliving her husband, with the glamour of Hollywood gradually fading from her world. As her health declined, she receded from the public eye, and on November 4, 2016, at the age of 84, she passed away quietly, her remarkable body of work slipping into relative obscurity. Joe E. Tata, born on September 13, 1936, in the Bronx, New York, portrayed the relentless police inspector Joetta on Charmed in 2001 when he was 65. His performance combined unyielding authority with a trace of vulnerability, reflecting his long career portraying memorable, steadfast characters. Best remembered for his role as Nat Pasicchio in Beverly Hills 90210, Tata spent decades in Hollywood, although he often found himself cast in similar, typecast roles. His personal life was not without hardship. After divorce, his relationship with his daughter became strained amid a decline in his health. In his later years, he battled Alzheimer's disease, a cruel affliction that slowly eroded his memories, identity, and the bonds with his loved ones. By the time he passed away on August 24, 2022, at the age of 85, the disease had enveloped him in a world of confusion, marking a heartbreaking conclusion to a life dedicated to entertaining millions. Larry Holden, born on May 15, 1961, in Framingham, Massachusetts, took on the role of Jeff Carlton in Charmed in 2001 when he was 40 years old. His performance, marked by a calm intensity and an air of mystery, resonated with fans. Away from the screen, Holden maintained a stable private life with his wife, Hannah Christensen, though they never had children. Just as his career was poised to flourish, he confronted a relentless battle with cancer, a struggle he kept largely away from the public eye. Tragically, on February 13, 2011, at the age of 49, he lost this fight, leaving behind a promising filmography that hinted at the leading man he might have become. In his own words, "My wife and I were planning on making that our final film." Matthew McGrory, born on May 17, 1973, in Westchester, Pennsylvania, brought the character the Ogre to life on Charmed in 2003 at the age of 30. He portrayed a colossal yet often misunderstood being whose formidable appearance concealed a surprisingly gentle spirit. Standing at an impressive 7'6". His stature naturally led him to roles in the realms of fantasy and horror, even though it sometimes pigeonholed his opportunities, despite his standout work in films like Big Fish and House of 10,000 Corpses. Off-screen, he maintained a long-term relationship with his partner, Melissa. However, the challenges posed by his gigantism and the pressures of his career took a toll on his health. His condition steadily deteriorated, and tragically, on August 9, 2005, at just 32 years old, he succumbed to congestive heart failure, an extraordinary life cut far too short. Michael Gilden, born on September 22, 1962, made a memorable appearance on Charmed in 2003 at the age of 41, playing Finnegan, a mischievous yet gentle leprechaun who injected a dose of whimsy into the series. Although his time on screen was brief, his performance shone as a highlight in a career that often grappled with the challenges faced by little-person actors in Hollywood. In his personal life, he discovered love with actress Meredith Eaton, marrying her in 2001 and supporting her artistic endeavors. Yet beneath his lively exterior, Gilden battled profound depression, a struggle that ultimately overwhelmed him. On December 5, 2006, at just 44, he tragically ended his own life, leaving a heartbroken wife and serving as a stark reminder of the hidden battles many endure. Pamela Gordon, who was born on April 8, 1937, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, joined the cast of Charmed in 2000 at the age of 63, taking on the role of Amanda, a mysterious and eccentric figure who added an intriguing layer to the series. Married for 43 years to Mark Wedner and without children of her own, she leaned heavily on the support of close friends. In 2003, she faced a dire diagnosis of esophageal cancer, and complications from pulmonary failure only worsened her situation. Despite delivering a performance in Harvey at the Lego in the Playhouse just weeks before her final days, she ultimately succumbed to her illness on September 21, 2003, at the age of 66, leaving behind a quiet yet memorable imprint in the world of character acting. Peter Siragusa, born on February 16, 1955. Peter Siragusa stepped into the role of Bauer on Charmed in 2002 at 47. In this portrayal, he embodied a merciless demon whose formidable presence and unyielding cruelty struck fear into all who opposed him. Despite being widely recognized for his roles in Home Alone and The Big Lebowski, his personal life was marred by instability. A long-standing marriage eventually dissolved into a painful divorce that left him emotionally adrift, and even though he had children, ongoing family conflicts led to estrangement. In 2022, his health sharply declined due to a sudden illness, and on October 11, 2022, at the age of 67, he passed away, spending his final days in solitude. Rebecca Balding, born on September 21, 1948, in Little Rock, Arkansas, Rebecca Balding entered the Charmed universe at 50 years old in 1998, initially portraying Aunt Jackie before returning in 2002 as Elise Rothman, Phoebe Halliwell's pragmatic yet caring editor-in-chief. Her role became a cornerstone of the series, enriching Phoebe's professional journey until the show concluded in 2006. Off-screen, she found enduring love with director James L. Conway, whom she met during an audition for the Boogans. Despite her illustrious career, Balding waged a fierce battle against ovarian cancer, a struggle that eventually took its toll. On July 18, 2022, at 73, she passed away, leaving behind a devoted husband and a legacy of unforgettable performances. Richard Lynch, born on February 12, 1940, in Brooklyn, New York, Richard Lynch joined Charmed in 2003 at age 63 to play Cronin, a sly and merciless demon whose devious plots made him a daunting foe for the Halliwell sisters. With a career forged through personal hardships and an unwavering passion for his craft, Lynch was renowned for his chilling portrayals. In 1967, a severe drug-related accident left him with critical burns, a turning point that reshaped both his life and career. Although he reclaimed professional success with roles in films like The Sword and the Sorcerer and Invasion USA, he battled inner turmoil and gradually retreated from the public eye. Twice married and having lost his only son in 2005, Lynch spent his final years in isolation until his enigmatic passing was discovered in his California home on June 19, 2012, at the age of 72. Scott Plank, born on November 11, 1958, in Washington, D.C., appeared on Charmed in 1999 at the age of 41 as Eric O'Man, a determined agent whose relentless pursuit of justice frequently put him at odds with the Halliwell family. Beneath his confident exterior, Plank longed for personal stability, a fulfillment that eluded him throughout his life. Unmarried and without children, he constantly battled the fear of not achieving his full potential. His promising career was tragically cut short when, on October 24, 2002, at just 43 years old, he succumbed to injuries sustained in a devastating car accident, leaving behind a legacy of unrealized promise and a career that ended too soon. Tony Todd, born on December 4th, 1954, in Washington, D.C., assumed the role of the Avatar Force on Charmed in 2002 at age 48. In this part, he personified a formidable and mysterious entity that blurred the boundaries between order and chaos. His resonant deep voice and imposing stature making a lasting impression on audiences. Although the role was initially envisioned with flair reminiscent of an Eddie Murphy-type performance, Todd's unique interpretation set its own standard. Off-screen, he enjoyed a stable home life with his wife, Fatima Cortez Todd, and together they raised two children, Alexander and Ariana. However, his later years were overshadowed by a private struggle with cancer, leading him to gradually withdraw from the spotlight. On November 6, 2024, at the age of 69, he passed away at his home in Marina del Rey, California, leaving behind a legacy of truly unforgettable performances. Tyler Christopher, born on November 11, 1972, in Joliet, Illinois, appeared on Charmed in 2028, playing Anton, a scheming warlock entangled in a tragic romance. His performance added a rich layer of complexity to the supernatural narrative, though his off-screen life was fraught with hardship. Despite his success on General Hospital, he battled severe alcoholism and bipolar disorder, which strained his personal relationships. His marriage to Brienne Pettigo eventually ended in divorce, and even though he was a father to two, his struggles with addiction severely impacted his familial bonds. Lingering financial issues and multiple stints in rehabilitation culminated in a period of homelessness. Tragically, on October 31st, 2023, just days before his 51st birthday, he was found dead at his home from positional asphyxia, a result of acute alcohol intoxication, marking a sorrowful end to a life filled with struggle. William Morgan Shepard, born on August 24th, 1932, William Morgan Shepard took on the role of Merrill in Charmed in 2003, when he was 71. His character was portrayed as an ancient, wise figure burdened with secret knowledge and cryptic insights. Much like his on-screen persona, Shepard's relentless commitment to his craft strained his personal life. Despite a lengthy marriage, his devotion to acting left him distant from his family, with his children retaining only fragmented memories of him. As he aged, illness gradually diminished the commanding presence he was known for, and by his 80s his health had seriously declined. On January 6, 2019, at the age of 86, his voice fell silent for the last time. Even though these cherished Charmed stars are no longer with us, their mesmerizing performances continue to captivate fans and keep their legacy alive. Their incredible talent and commitment help create the show's enchanting spirit, leaving a memorable mark that endures. Who is your most beloved Charmed performer? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on your favorite TV series.